worrying.
More fire.
Very worrying. Eish, we cannot do that. No. I'm not trying to about one say you. We? No. We need to speak about it.
More fire. More fire.
FDA botaye pa. Omo mandate and say. FDA ne mandate ne say. Say nuro ni nnuane ni ade a yedi no kruma no. Food and Drugs Authority. Ombehwe say drugs na ede ba no. Yede ye. Na fatase ade ye. Enso FDA no wada. FDA nada. FDA ada. Na ye no say nuro no mo ba. Enya tufa. Omo fan show mo chi. Omo de port. Customs and Excise Preventive Service for no. Mo prevented de ya. If say mudino service no. Customs, Excise and Preventive Service. Mo preventing your maboni say bevrem. Enso me no ka say more than 20 million worth of inura e bama mranche nya binom. Yes e fe bibi red. Yes e fe bibi red. Ye fe bi ashes. We wom. The police ni mo anu so mo chi we for. Enso nura wo e se mranche. E fa video ni bi kire mo. Adebe na esi no.
More fire.
Ani e hwe ni di.
More fire.
General. Adebe na esi ni sa no. Daniel. Fa video na kire wo. Oh. Nana ni amranche e isa sa. Eish. With him red way oh. Eish. Future leaders yo. Akosua. We mu na senka empanimfo na ekwa. Komba be sha na mu. Emranche ni nyina ewu. Emranche ne sei. Kofi na opahwe. Fi wani din. Na hwe se most eye obituaries ebobo wo. Less than 40 30. Emranche ni wu. Enuro no mo fa no bone no mo fa no. National security where ojina ho wada. Yes red. National security. We ni adwuma. National security. Where the yajuma? Oh no, but why are we sitting down? Kofi.
This is critical.
No, but where ojina ho?
Critical issue.
Hey, baby, I don't know. Kofi. Baby, hey, me mensuno.
Very worried.
Mensuno. I don't know.
Pathetic.
Hey.
Yeah, but transam na easy ya. And national security to her.
And you're funny, say you're funny. And you're funny. A damn real boy back you could fix the country 2021. Near copy takrade. Look at this. Look at this. Look at that. I've read 9
months.
Hey, Charlie, Ghana mummy, sorry.
More fire.
Where the mummy and where the mummy and why? Hey, where a serious conversation will be. We need to have a conversation on this. The youth is being destroyed. But you see, so what we see a dear way it boils down to the hopelessness of the youth of this nation. It boils down to how the youth don't have any hope for tomorrow. It will offend no and any trima and the dead. He lives in a certain utopia. If so unemployment rate, you government in, government out. We pretend to be building a nation, and the youth pretend to be having the jobs. This is the end result.
More fire.
And you may hear you never build your mind. Yanyo, Yanya, and you may hear you never build your mind. Yanya, pressing issues, Yanya, na petty things. Oh, wow.
More fire.
Wow. No. With the greatest of Food and Drugs Authority, I don't know. We can so and Komobia Koso, a national security. Our machi cocaine be na yedi actually. O machi cocaine be where fisheries companies be or machi cocaine heavy. Na nipa na wo dia ne money NDC nipa on a fisheries company ni dia on a China phobia na ne yedi actually me friend nipa no me wie me texting nipa ne say matre say sa asemo na asi me no ka say o mochi nipa na wo frontier ma NDC nipa ni no and ne ko BNI ene anopa NDC nipa ni so ko BNI na anopa you follow the issue you follow the case now by Wednesday ni aboa ye evidence nyina no na ye de aba betudwa ene ya cocaine fisheries company whatever NDC ni penny on China for dia no one will be near front man sa fisheries company and ya kwachi cocaine have you ho mo be kai say ya chi cocaine bi wo ye central kwa mu ho ana ya NDC ni penny bi na na sa asam na ko say yakata so omada so without the help of the system there is no way people can be bringing in this kind of drugs.
Precisely so.
More fire.
There's no way.
Fire them.
And the political class, they know. They know those behind it. But the system is protecting them.
Exactly so.
Obi? And then the year minus
I know what thing.
and then the year minus
No shit.
So for the love, omo baby anka ho. Omo baby ani ho kofi. So omo baby ani ho. Minister Nibeni. These are not the conversations at the forefront of the nation. This is not what bothers us. We are not having conversation about this. By now, national security in Penifo, you should be worried that this is happening.
More fire.
These are the boys as will be per se insurgency, will be per se recruiting, no be causing mayhem. These are the boys that they will infiltrate.
More fire.
So it's a national security threat. Such a boy, woman, even 1,000 Ghana. What kuno? What can someone bomb machine? What the bomb machine? So we are leaving our youth hopeless, visionless, directionless. Then somebody will infiltrate.
More fire.
Especially when your president is in some way somehow causing with the coup makers. So you the president. Subconsciously, what you are doing is that you are legitimizing a coup making. What you know, be betu aya obekasa. Because ufre coup makers and ado maba, no maba more fans. Now, okazi soldiers for now are omojimi. Almost performance in biaje.
More fire.
So this is a national security issue.
Precisely so.
Eti national security madaroma. Mutie ya this is not right. FDA mon sorry na moma mo hom so mada FDA nada emranche ni wu emranche ne sei obi yenye bibi mfa ho why madaroma o mind no yemfa politics nto nchen ne yenye bibi mfa. This is very worrying. And we obeka ya na that story we mre bi buy but we didn't follow up.
More fire.
And then it's dangerous. And me hu ba could be a video bi a akwa no why say yama ensure that o monitor mu wa bra woni mi so ato nsu.
More fire.
Baby tia shaben kwan mu because of red and yet trendy ade no social media say as if it's a joke. It is not a joke. Oh my no ya dwene ni mo tia dodo nti and you man you very worrying no say worrying. We don't worry about them.
More fire.
Oba ni ti be ha ne Okatakyie nya views wo Facebook rather than the mrante no maba we say to offer na energy nko ha.
More fire.
What is this? Mesremo momi enye bibi mfa ho why govi momi enye bibi mfa ho we dey madaroma enye MPP NDC system enye MPP NDC system ye dache govi na emrante ni wu saa ho one way ya there will be a time where enkokrafo ni duru ba bi omutimi nya adwuma one way ye nya mrante mo nya adwuma the workforce of this nation will get eroded. Period.
Exactly.
Yan sorry free ho na yanko your next topic.
More fire.
And somebody who will be car who bonnet tell no answer. Why? Bonnet tell. Now go be next topic, you know. Galamse no other than media na idi.
Yeah, me anano.
Mobaka na kufu adubaye. Wa ne to anka akonya kura. Ani ye nyina ye di gina no so. Na do be ma sa abrofo no. I put my presidency on the line. And ya to abawie. Ya ko election na me ne kwa me speaker of a Kesben. Ye ko fa sa ye Galamse story baye. E ma otumfo sante hini nyam kase. Ode na no tum se ba bia aduru no tie. Eish, mum ye nyina nka bi. Ano ya ye den. Kofi meboa. General meboa. Asofo nyina sori. And yes, and ye true abawia. Ye behwe ho asemaka. Omo ye omo se na ekufu adokras won declare state of emergency. And I said the pani ya memo Professor Jamponi ade ya mo position. It won the youth no mo nko demonstration bi. Ensunsuo ne ninte. Ensuo ne yegusutu. Yegusu say ye forest. 2 months, 3 months into this administration. Still Still and it's even worse.
More fire.
Obi, almost sense you know. Almost say a forest. Se say dum pempe so an Cobra River no. Ensuo ni mo e ko sea ni mu bio. It is say sea ni na return to the land.
More fire.
And if the care is not taken, a day will come. You better be sorry one day. Let the whole place will come off us.
More fire.
And all of us are quiet. The media is quiet. Era stores a year saredonko. Onunko na be Lone Ranger fighting. Be call ba ko ba ye say no. Me ye me ko bi no. Onunko a media no we nkwande ni ho. Media no be bre nso hihim. Omo nyina akoromfo. Omo tu galamse ni bi. Media for ebre. Omo ko chi omo a. Sa me magimie. Me dem ko chi omo ankoji concession. Enso still la esma koji concession. Me ko chi omo ankoji ska. Enso still la esma koji ska. Media me gimi ma no po me ba na be kan. Media for no kwa omko hu amu a tra house didi no no so age concession no fa yi pickers ni sofi no no so tubi eti no monka wasem ko vi mesi media for bebre hihye galamse nim omu tubi omu concessions ahodo media for no to ma koma no atum teacher for akoma no atum asofo e wo kroma bebre tu galamse businessmen bebre mu hu omu abonte galamse tam omboa anya adwene bia no mde oska bone galana gala business no asofo shim ahimfudie bobo and cha for what kind of cha so no the galam say site
more fire.
Well, he can't charge us. I know shall cost. I am for a shall cost to a Gina Galamse site teacher to her. Who to her? Baby, I am for baby. Winning more fire. I made a baby some. The YouTube were Jiminty, we are boom for more. Now, if you are more yen and a year minister. For a year, lands a natural resource.
budget ba na ya tesi montenso budget bo expectation ne say near the budget no why awie e dey akọ cabinet ama cabinet approve it na no memenda me wuru say ora ato forcing ese wonam dwom ene ma menum edwomfo ne other business traders near the edi nkomo abuse o mwadenkyere na odi akwahye budget no na bibusan say na sebe kotoma menhwa to agro be na ato forcing ene NDC fo ene John Mahama ene Ghana fo edi ni sa no budget no mo ye awie na no feda model kwa cabinet ama cabinet approve every feda be si etina about president budget no bibia ensesa ewom into that populist decisions and I say activities na wo mo ye no I also heard say na no me na say on trader why engage Ghana for mabunu bi any o madi come out very well. It is good. Say you have an engagement with them, an interaction with them. Now what you munsusie and as we watch church you mudi eba that he mentioned of school feeding. Sika by Tiama akwala per head omu eba tum by about 30% that is good. But the man get to say budget na wo be no what be your madwen and adekoye budget no wa bre kwa wonim sa budget no why Ediako cabinet, ama cabinet approve if you dana omo approve your bepem so ne Ghana for bedin komono bibia ensesa ewo ho. And so that is that Lord on Dakoba and also yendine ebedin komom. Some decisions are the Speaker of Parliament Ataki if you want more, or some people think it is in sharp contrast with the 1992 Republican Constitution and also so yanono ebe rem kakra na afe the General Legal Counsel who say Honorable Dominic Ayini Attorney General Minister of Justice I hear some appointment be and as a one nominee Yera Francis Sosu and one other person Edioma Kosom the General Legal Counsel mujumedi omudie and so krane de omanfo bebre susu edi ehon komo about omu a also mo hwe omu edwumadi sunom eno so no yebeba so we are going to have a very extensive conversation with lawyer John Darko this morning on your radio and TV and then via a very social media platform. Yentra say na yamo sa enkomo nyina anche foko eba abetrase aso anotewa enso ebeka ne ho na yaboafo adane da nyina muso asene ema yetimede da obo krata no ene djumedi ankasa ede bro no womo ede omo ho ensem baba na afei da obo krata no so ensem awodo a edi ahim ewo mu no eno so so ode aba abatudwa na no na ye ka awa hasese se de eya kwese NDC for na sramete Ghana mantampa na nkaka che na ngie nyanya me fugu bi honum ka me bomu krampo anopei o say na foku heaven kwana be you oni uni ato abe una hwe tize me kwana ma nkramo a na ya house na akofa aba okay na o say
o de bibi fufura abe
eno so ye dia
mpenufu agropa table tennis o designer no
Semuka meka kama mintwaso na bosheba mamintie Honorable Samuel Abujina Pokakra na no nsema ne ye kan ofia no on de wanya abotre acheche mu pade ntia ye kase mabonga na fo mabom kokko metiefo ne mahwefo ena matwumodwene si bibi so se NDC aban ya John Mahama mampani eda no yi womba ye ne ma bi agana fo ya hwe yi a ye bebose age wonso asoso wonso amaje se fanse de be ma omuno nanso ye bawuru de tuamu pa no ne ehunu se 419 ase wo mu ne edi agrobia omu fi se ya dwene mo ha na enei John Mahama so appoint ministers and deputy ministers not more than 60 nanso nipa outside the ministers and deputy ministers no wa appoint wo mu na eka aban baba omu no se nko appoint ministers be 80 krankeye chese nipa bebrebe wo makatua ene o allowances no it is a cabinet minister or say MP na I know somebody will get me that video na
to the cost on the national exchequer because why do I say this? Take for example, the president has appointed Dr. Valerie Soya as senior presidential advisor in charge of government affairs to the cost on the national exchequer. Why do I say this? Take, for example, the president has appointed Dr. Valerie Soya as senior presidential advisor in charge of government affairs. Her rank is a cabinet minister who doubles as a member of parliament. So her salary, her emolument, conditions of service, everything to do with her office is at the same rank as a cabinet minister who doubles as a member of parliament. The speaker is appointed a presidential advisor on economy, appointed presidential advisor for 24-hour economy, presidential advisor in special aid to the president, presidential advisor on national anti-corruption program, presidential advisor on diaspora affairs. The speaker, he goes on to appoint presidential advisor, presidential staffer, and special aid to the vice president, presidential staffer for Black Star Experience, and then presidential staffer for diaspora affairs. In the figure, then he goes ahead to appoint 5 policy advisors to the vice president. The figure, he tells the country that he's appointed a minister in charge of agribusiness, and yet he's appointed director at the presidency in charge of agriculture and agribusiness. My good friend Peter Buama Otukono. The figure, he says he will not appoint deputy regional ministers, and he appoints 16 presidential staffers in charge of the 16 regions of our country. The figure, I want to submit that these presidential staffers in charge of the 16 regions of our country, in essence, as it relates to the cost on the national exchequer, are in fact, indeed, and in substance, deputy ministers of state. The figure, he then appoints, listen carefully, please. The figure, he then appoints 1 presidential advisor on media, 4 directors of communication at the office of the president, 5 deputy directors of communication, 2 communication specialists, 5 technical communication assistants, 1 media aide, 1 assistant media liaison officer, 1 communications consultant. That's because I've done the mathematics, and I want to submit. That's because I've done the mathematics that I want to submit, and I do this not from a partisan lens, but I do this as somebody who had the privilege and honor to serve as deputy chief of staff. I know how it works. In terms of the cost on the national exchequer, the president has appointed 100 ministers and deputy ministers.
No, adent nipa mampeni apawomu sa ono mo baya adwuma awa natena ye the presidency no omunya ministers omunya deputy ministers nemo akatua wo mo abaje ene sikante ho a yede be mo mu se wo madwuma ya wo mo ya no yede be won chidom no se ode toto sanko ya soafo anaza soafo abedi akire ho a wone mampani tra kokoa mu agire oman hyehyɛ ho me kire cabinet minister nigga say pepe enti edi keke na wonso as ministers or deputy ministers say omunya asoafo anasa asoafo abedi eche nemom adwuma mo ye no akatua ene hu enyanam a aban de be mo no de eye twam ministers grampo de enti wo sha eka aban abo mo no etese aban apau 100 ministers and deputy ministers pepe na me ka say asori fu komba jisu na obi say for the records minia Okatakyie fifa ye show na wo mo jeje so koso fire any papa na no hye batakari na wote abuja po echi no omumiaru na die no wa de pa na a sweet vibe papa no hye batakari na wote abuja po echi no na Kevin Taylor say Okatakyie gwa hunya na hiyo na mo gofro mo tenje no mo jeje so no fire koso fire them Areba affair match advisor in charge of government affairs. Her rank is a cabinet minister who doubles as a member of parliament. So
So her salary, her emolument, conditions of service, everything to do with her office is at the same rank as a cabinet minister who doubles as a member of parliament. The Speaker is appointed a presidential advisor on economy, appointed presidential advisor for 24-hour economy, presidential advisor in special aid to the president, presidential advisor on national anti-corruption program, presidential advisor on diaspora affairs. The Speaker, he goes on to appoint presidential advisor, presidential staffer, and special aid to the vice president, presidential staffer for Black Star Experience, and then presidential staffer for diaspora affairs. The Speaker, then he goes ahead to appoint 5 policy advisors to the vice president. The Speaker, he tells the country that he's appointed a minister in charge of agribusiness, and yet he's appointed director at the presidency in charge of agriculture and agribusiness. My good friend Peter Buama Otukono. The Speaker, he says he will not appoint deputy regional ministers, and he appoints 16 presidential staffers in charge of the 16 regions of our country. The Speaker, I want to submit that these presidential staffers in charge of the 16 regions of our country, in essence, as it relates to the cost on the national exchequer, are in fact, indeed, and in substance, deputy ministers of state. The Speaker, he then appoints, listen carefully, please. The Speaker, he then appoints 1 presidential advisor on media, 4 directors of communication at the office of the president, 5 deputy directors of communication, 2 communication specialists, 5 technical communication assistants, 1 media aide, 1 assistant media liaison officer, 1 communications consultant. The Speaker, I've done the mathematics, and I want to submit. The Speaker, I've done the mathematics that I want to submit, and I do this not from a partisan lens, but I do this as somebody who had the privilege and honor to serve as deputy chief of staff. I know how it works. In terms of the cost on the national exchequer, the president has appointed 100 ministers and deputy ministers. The president has established.
By we, the NDP, have the men. Samuel Abu Jinapo, you could see, sir, on one colleague, friend and brother, as and so Boachu was even enjoying him. As and so guest now or the head now. Now, so for be say was sacrifice Ninia Ba and in a bar at the Ama NDC. I'm a wedding kunim. Nanso so Omuba by me. The Mahama surrendered himself with false prophets. To the truth for D4B and you on way pemu na enche obeshasie na wakasa Joseph Yami so ahase esu Joseph Yami ahase esu se ebromo breye wasantemantam asana nkurimdie no eba no eye bibia akoye nkran na afi as a appointment kwa wokwa ye high ni he nim sa so wokra no ye de ma ba bia ofri ba na de ankofobia no munya adwene benya so mfaso edie ma nto no no ama no ho ba na woche mieru de wo pa no ne nsa nka obeshase na wakasa na before say obeshase akasa no unza first nka sports no eba o mseted bits na nka ntete ho eba na boys ni bia shase kasa o ma shase twetwe e Facebook na notable one minia Kwame Etua Patrick wono oye Joseph Yami chochomucho pa o se baby adun de so ntu ankonkran ya em se ade na ebe ye den na no mi hu se minia bright abakosem enso abetwe o Facebook se emre ye ninka so o ya ankofo dibo eja no o say this political game isn't straightforward as you see it. Bright abakosem no na oyo no sabe twe emre ye ninka so and say Abdallah na oye one of the vibrant communicators ewo Ashanti region say onde wonye ne tie di makotena London and bonebra na ono so ebe twe we say honestly some of the appointment hit differently. And on so Nidia Ebeto Honum. And Kwame Etua Patrick say the most expensive thing in the world is trust. It can take years to earn and a matter of seconds to lose. On the God, you say, said and then see you kono. Say, see, you two about Edema Umi, Omania 2 months, into 4 years. I never say, this and one 2 and 1 kaya, and na bibi atono. And then Mustafa Bandi, I a deputy general secretary. Also, every post to Facebook said the saddest thing in my life is that I don't have a friend. As a Obia Yinama, a war party. No, there's office net na question. Appointment demand only office. Hey, to acquire deputy national security operation. On the number one, when the office grant them na. Osadi Kofi, and he's the deputy general secretary of the NDC. Hey, Mustafa Bandi, and now also Abe President. Yes, of Kakra.
Me who 57%, you know, I will be say a talent Mahama nim, and I me who victory no from Kumasi. Say me who 1 million votes so from Kumasi. God revealed them to me based on my availability to the voice of God and to the Spirit of God. And the coffee say him tassemui at the buy.
Etina a yadi and now wedi kanya juma from 2020 elections and this lusu yeno. And now juma.
Sanity.
Said 2024 and say John Dramani Mahama and it's over.
El Samba because Nenya me a naturally in the type of Nkrumah Nasada yeno Namu wakoso mwana meye 8 days dry. Because 2020 election they see no nyame ka kire me say or the election man NDC but bibi koso nti no me san ko nyame anim ko bon paye biem esa ko twen nyame anim ene nyame say yi ya papa JDM sande ne ma yen esande ne ma me biem e wo me da yeso mu. The Bible said by 2 or 3 witnesses a thing is established. Enti nyame say yi ni ba biem. No, this time around, it was in a very profound form. I'm who so on Dr. Kwame Nkrumah and mi vision. Na vision ni muno mi jine mu chei. Na mi hu sestum sumuno. Acquire se Nkrumah kuta Ghana map. And na all church Mahama send your person ka Ghana beye. Mi da yesumu. Enti me sun sa da ye ni wie ye no. And me kompa bo me nyame kasa kire me say. He is bringing John Dramani Mahama back because John Dramani Mahama is the typology of Nkrumah and the spirit of Nkrumah is upon him. Now through him, no
no amount of intimidation. We knew about something. Near a year galam.
And now juma.
Sanity.
Said 2024 and say John Dramani Mahama and it's over.
El Samba because Nenya me a naturally in the type of Nkrumah Nasada yeno Namu wakoso mwana meye 8 days dry. Because 2020 election they see no nyame ka kire me say or the election man NDC but bibi koso nti no me san ko nyame anim ko bon paye biem esa ko twen nyame anim ene nyame say yi ya papa JDM sande ne ma yen esande ne ma me biem e wo me da yeso mu. The Bible said, by 2 or 3 witnesses, a thing is established. And in Yamisa Yini Babium. No, Yini Ba this time around, it was in a very profound form. I mean, who saw on Dr. Kwame Nkrumah, and mi vishimu. Na vishimu no mi jine mu chei. Na mi hu se sumuno. Akwaye se Nkrumah kuta Ghana map. Ena na wo chire Mahama send your person ka Ghana beye. Ewo mi da yesumu. Enti me sun sa da ye ni wie ye no. Ena me kompai bo me nyame kasa chire me say. He is bringing John Dramani Mahama back because John Dramani Mahama is the typology of Nkrumah, and the spirit of Nkrumah is upon him. Now through him, no obe peja Ghana, ako pempenshubia Ghana ebeba into the glory lights, into the lamplights, into the place of where Nkrumah had wanted Ghana to be, as the beacon of Africa and as the beacon of the world. And then you say 57% in terms of this is the amount of voter he will win to come to power by the grace of God.
Because you were so emphatic, Bebao. Ma etia frontier sa interview na me no ye. Ebiana afe na edi kan obi.
What the recognition now is due, some of us have not been melted to us or has not been given to us.
Na yense die. Wo say dia uye mpai kwa bobo ye ni ade ni nyina no. Ye to abawie ye empanfo enfrem.
Empanfo ye to abawie ye eye mu bibie wi asofo ameni omu ye adwuma, because nyame ka kire me say JDM will win from 13 regions. Enti asofo a me frefre won miama sofo me ma ebi na temi nchen a ye call 13 regions ko ye sunsum adwuma. Anna Honorable Otukono was aware of what we did. Any part in Pennyfobi was aware of what we did. No, it looks like ye mu.
Sir,
it looks like ye mu. In a sense, he said, "Na me dwene say sabe Pennyfo say no wapoto ama na fe no. Onchiri say odibebom. Enti ye win election in na wie na nyame ka che me say menye kom. Na me hwade. Na to my knowledge, you know, I thought to say they will be appreciative enough, because a president John Dramani Mahama, he's a good man. Or ye nipa. Until I thought say at least I'll be Yabayu from Mechira Pine. Na sabe Yade and Nasibi Edi Abrame, because Yesu Krana or ye Yankopon Bano, a basa season. Bible said na ayarifuo edubi kone chen. Na osan won yade. Na okakire won say won fa won ho nkokire high priest no. Na womra. But omo koye no nine no amma ba ko pe no bai. Ebeda na se. Eno busa say na monye edu. Na nine na aka no ewen. It means say appreciation or somebody who remembers obi a won kaye obi a owo enkaye no a o kai baby a no wa nyankopon yi no no baby a no o kai baby a nyame di no abedu na o appreciate ye nyame afa nipa so ayama no men ka sa men kwa nam DJ ye mbaye but emom no full soldiers nyina wo ho a omo ye bie. But Bible say yemfa ni die man na ni die se no. Yemfa ni die man na ni die se no. Free say ye win ye ebepem ne until say last week Friday no mo ye Thanksgiving. Ewo ahimfa conference.
Thanksgiving because
Omo ye no national international conference.
Conference center.
Conference center. And okra na my sister before election, na my sister kan chinegu, my sister wu. Oh. NDC who don't chini nya na me pese me yama NDC ntino me deni share fridge mu. Kopi mu se na watwe a etwam ya na me kosie me sister. Oh. And no na honorable every yanka ebo me din wo ho. acknowledge me present. Now okay say Mrs. Tewunti. By then I was service me buy back about Thanksgiving no. But now you try me plane ticket until by 12 no SMS come back to Takwa.
Oh okay.
Because in you Friday in the year the damn sister. Me and mini penny me na SMS koshe.
Na bibia.
Me yi na bibia to me koso. It's about 11 and me free conference na sister call airport. Eko for a plane called Takrade. Eko to a me journey so. Eko Takwa. Na me tin wo echire na me tin say yes ye bobo asonfo no. Ye bo me din prophet na najimai. Na ye kokan say Mrs. Sato and Tebi as a mini ha namiko. That was the first time I've heard my name. But sem penifone frame. Aka se mo and I say omoka se mun ye tu and penifobia ba mencheno. Sene no mbeba dia I can't tell. But NDC penifone nim. The sacrifice ejuma me ye February. Hwe mugwasia sabi mini executive. Akwanche ye 2020.
Yeah, 2020.
Obi konya say video
na
ye circulate all over Ghana. Mabra bokoto ensemiemu a akronfo ba me so 4 times.
Exactly.
Aba me fie me nkwala is traumatized up to now.
Esa video never about.
Esa video never bonten.
Ah.
Mabra bo densemieni. Penny when I be friend na you be flow back. When I be friend na you mfa wo call. Minimum penny for. They know what I have done for the party.
And penny for nim.
A penny for nim.
Wo call 13 regions in Nigeria where. Na no be sponsor na ko na wow resources.
Me resources.
And I would call.
Me dey call as we speak. The car me dey ya kwanchenya engine na breaki. Emma dan me be car wa ha say car ne da ho si fitting shop. Otu kono na woman no wa send me bibi kakra. Na my friend no ya short to petrol. Na my friend no say ye nyoma ye di yesunsu madwuma sa. Na bia wa mane me bibi kakra. Adofo anomo do NDC. Na ya me nyomo kasa na mama ye bibi kakra. Na chese ye di ape ba bia da. Ni nyina mu ni ye ya konchire 21 days. Ye call North and nyoma sunsuma juma ye koyeye Tema Meridian Hotel ohona Ghana furu ma se sunsuma juma ye koyeye na sabi o kan 1 Timothy 5 verse 17 to 18 na e ka sembi wo ho me ye madwe se kamen kasada. But me kai emra ya papa wonya ne ba bi ko eye ex-president Evans Atamils 2007 nyame na me so be ka kire ne so be win election e wo Cocoa Hills Emma papa de na bra bo she mensa busa ashimomo busa odabo free yanka no Atamils nko ba bi ombo mamane me na me gina mu ye 9 directions man wo Ghana ha nyina papa ni wi ni ye phone of Fred Damase bosha wo share me nyina wanye
na ana mo yes ana mo jihwe bibi afiri ma no be kaza nyame adwuma na wo ye na wo dia boa wo mai ana etese
David Kasembi embra Israel for ne Philistine for no e kokontokwa no e kontokwa ne ntokwa ne mu ye den no Bible said David papa sma David so on fe duane nkoma ne nuane mu ewo akono and the Bible said ya metwi ni nye
na wo de fa
the Bible said that and David's father sent David to go to the battlefield and send food to his brethren. Bible so do on na Israel for din kukuo Israel for tobaha Israel for dwane Emma Goliath etien say mun fe ni pamra no ne meko na Bible said David ka so betumi ni sa apoa wo yakon na embra so ebe no ena so e ka so betumi na kode ane jemakota de David busa say sentoko ya mekokun e de na mode da mame e de na menya firi mu na so she ne bo say so to me ni akwa we kona wudi ni sunkunima mahinie ni mechemu miensa Oba fie meyi mafiri kwaso mu muntua jesusu dudu bie na me de mabakan me ba ebe ma wawade enti bibia ye wasase su bia na there is a reward that comes with it. Okay. Enti kai quotation ne mame. First Timothy Efata na ketua no. I have labored for NDC party. And now suffer be a meaning baby omu free. E claim so mo no the party ni ba power. Within November, obetimi the party about power. Soon is that how we do it. Say November, December. No way soon then you bring a party to a power. We don't do things like that. Then that is a magic. That is witchcraft. That is witchcraft. And now a sophobia yeni baby omu free. I bet you front seat. Now acquire cartel. Me who's acquire cartel? I saw for na form cartel. Now we bo waiting. I see this I don't exist. But in Comsha Michelle, internet to sube beer. Oh yeah, that's a function. And some more bomb who dear. Now we have no nimudin. Now we have no nimudin. Say yen the abre party. Obrahim. And brad down party because more beyond shankum. Munina mo share them. It was some of us at SYZ, Radio Gold, TV show. Na me Kenya mi adwen. Say nyame John Dramani Mahama eba ahindie no so. Nyame John Dramani Mahama eba ahindie no so. But enam said they are very skilled with the media. They are very skilled and they are very familiar with the legalities and technicalities within the media setting, no? Because they are affiliated or more links within the media setting or more bloggers in here. And background here catch them say, and your man and me who no more bloggers are or money or monam, yet your boy one near the Atwabonte, your boy one near the Atwabonte, 18 years who almost are. Now, I say, where did these people work? Omuya Jumano way. They should tell us. They should prove it. So, now, me say Ghana has no Ghana has soon it does not reward faithfulness. Senye nyame na frame wo Ghana ha. Enti na minia danfo. Omo cartels association meeting. I'm not part of them. I am mebusa say to omo ya sofo. They don't have the Christ-like nature in them. Omo ye with differ. Just omo timat sum. They are just evil. Minimum di enti omo ye nyame adwuma. Ghana sofo. They are very evil. Obetumi sumu afidie sesi a ono obetumi asuma obi se onye wo sei onka sei mfa enku hu fin. And I think they have become a cartel to malign me. Obi frame me catch me say asofo bi se me yembo din kura wo ye radio so. They shouldn't mention my name. Na me say anya hwe because Ghana ha no ye hwehwe ni mu and we are very hypocrites. Yam peno kware na NDC fo nhwe NDC fo omo nhwe ye se nkofo bi omo makwan aba president ho no omo de asum na ben no na so man nhwe ye asofo ni bi omo de asum pa na ben papa no na so omo nhwe ye na yamu bi ya de ensegu yachi ni etena fom na se ye yi ya ho ne eka achina soro a ne ebesi o party ni mu no ebe bu ni padwe ni o monti ase so because my life was in danger, my family life was in danger. Video call viral me NDC executive pulling agent executive eja kwanche mo so dem with honorable free yankra so dem kentem no. That video put my life in danger. I was on national security radar. I confirmed by me fear they were looking for me to kill. Why now bow our friend is a prophet? You don't feel prophet. So she took from cry.
And I don't want to be out here now.
Penyibe no ni me normal. I can mention their names. Apart from honorable free and cross sending me message say they haven't forgotten about me. That is not enough. Because I have seen what they have done. I saw you on Makukom Akwadasi. I have seen it. Now, say when you see Amawasia Ubano Chrono, my yeni Suminashu. Do you know the people that are making mockery of me?
A man for Sreme.
A man for Sreme, my sofa Minyomokoya Quantre, Efremi and Nopanya Yanime, assuming set a beer partner, Mammy Bibi, and a man from almost on Bedio. Because a Jumaya for Fatanaketia. Sama Putra Manafia. Yen Chirisa Musumi de Bebum. Na se omo bubo dimpo na komo bo mi dimpo a anka me fa ni sa baako am MP baako am bo alo dodo ni asikoti ono so hwe ne ho yie
sir
on hwe ne ho yie papa anya sa me mana fno no bo sunsumu
and
on kai so ba me nchen enumle 12 midnight. Yes, Sumatuma, man, about 3 and 7 of him if you call Ododo MP near Sikote, on Sheye, number back, number Damasi. So, yes, I'm a man of Frono. MP Sam a boy with time, a momre. No bomb in their dean, no minim the mayor. So,
yes, I know would to have one so cow.
That politicians don't think about you. They don't have your interest at heart. It's about them. Now, I have watched that over the years. Yeah, Papa, when you be baby call Atalos, he did the same thing to me. Mint now, man, for phone down me quiet. My sorry, it's in jeopardy. I feel me renting baby just to have a church. My church has been crashed down. Do you know what I have suffered for NDC? Behind the scenes, I know Frobia will be anfa. O to come on honorable free and can family call once a while. General, they me to me friend on family call.
The national chairman.
My friend 100 times on family call. But a man as some baya. Now your video no call viral. Now all the media house or Ghana ha. El Pomechi di matem. Or no Becca's our sister station ha. Eddie defend the Akwanchira so he knows me. Party needing 32 years anniversary. Many a friend me and mammy call officiating here. Honorable for swamp of Yamin Shrano. Yamin Shrano, my sister, we are also boame. I don't know woman who are friend me at say papa. Minim no wayama party no. Minim no wayama party no na bompire my. Yeah. Nyamye ye ya kire me 2028 ne besi ne abekoso no obedi party nanim nyina. I have it with me ma kire mo nyina die gu ho
sir na tese oguso bomb paye de ma NDC
party ya party bia nyame me do party no etina for all this one member bontin mekasaye amaye kom ehwe ne ekoso se anyenya bia mo on kaya on be kai abehwehwe machira kwanya na. But they've proven to me that omunin kaye. And our software, jenim baby omu free buy. They are the one fronting everything. Near nanke yakase mpaibo a obi babo mpaye ma JDM a. Enye ne amehun. But it's rather unfortunate. Say Ghana ha yem penokware. Ghana yem penokware. Ghana we are hypocrites. And the NDC party ni show mu ye. There is agitation in the party. No mu ye. Na sum ni pa Bible say, touch not my anointed and do my prophet no harm. Or say man for say come me give for. Na menya me give for bone. Enyankopon asem. And the NDC for ye. ehwehwɛ nim na ɔmo yɛ no ɔmo nhwɛ yie ehwehwɛ nim no saa sɔfo mpanifo yi a ɔmo sɔre tia ho ɛhyɛ nkɔm sɛ JDM so adaka nan a ɔtete bin JDM san wɔ mogya na atames wuo onim ho bi and they did not even render an apology to you NDC for hwɛ na ye push your agenda. Is that fair? Is that fair? Do you know what you are doing to the other men of God? Omon kasaye, awo ni kamafo, awo ni dimafo, awo ni blogger be or blog omon semamao. Do you know what you are doing to them? Now me catch a software benina, any software ohonyina say next time. Politician be bound chana nyame yi be for president ni president be hu chraw. Only nko agreement, mon sign, na lawyer mbrem, na mon sign. Because now can yeah. Ghanaian politicians are ungrateful. Omutima king.
101.3 and so this morning I did this for NPP Mobuna. Ye kwa election 2024. Na mode yaudie kakra ebufuo kakra na de wankoto ba ankoto de okoto tia ye esusu to tia de otra ba bi kan nsem ma e de ebufuo ne hisam eba part ni so ekan thinking that the NDC are sacrosanct, thinking that the NDC is an aboda obetwe kwa hyehonom na ehode ne ho betonom. They are just 2 months in office. But listen to these stories. Just a woman there, what is often? Or say, Otimi Fred General said, don't get over 100 times on fat. Into where they offer, Menkasa a year. A one offer COB, offer MPB, offer Minister, they are 1 far. 1 quarter bar. Ama and they, Yatima, the offer say, NDC Urbano, they will be a friend to you. Or they will do better than the MPP, no. These are the stories coming out. And so just get ready for it. And you know, and your papa says I man see. But the MPP is your MPP. It is your party. And today can you ceremony upon say men for your young kitten kitty and power party no and mother young person dini ebesi and esi. Tis a want to be no one you say. So what down for me one NDC mu obeko NDC mu ama enyema ye as na one people mu. These are their stories. This is what is coming out. And why you want bro? But sometimes so you will sacrifice your time, your energy, your resources, everything for a cause that will benefit a friend or a colleague. Now okodu some pempenswana when you need them. Oh, then they turn their back. Oh, and so I want to repeat again. Me say the state institutions should take their course. And Mrakwanso will be at the humanity car fine, but sometimes obi kwampa we die wuno o mino e mana kwenya for a fair hearing. Hi. And so more for some reason best known to you say any pabone semuo say subai bone na moditimo na moshe say chire on this gift or worry issue na mu pull strengths no e ye be chire ni nyansa e be chance yenso ho onye ne wa asem a e onye na asem. But don't take advantage of this situation na muddy waters no. And surprisingly, when I saw some many PKs upon say, no Friday or call NIB, Oma detaining no, na Omo money, be woman access to Nikunu, Oman access to the lawyers, Crampo, winning in Nkomono. Some of our party people were on social media, Robinson that said, again, crack, Yanchi Nibia, Yan detaining Nibia. And when you do these things, and then, Omo no, yes, I know, if you trace baby omufria the source no eyo obi a minim say maybe a twem oni gift nya problem kakra and so he is transferring omu internal issue to yes no but wait me makasa party mo asem no me ma me ho time kakra when the time is right sankofuna they want to be seen as those who call the shot in the party no until their wishes and the base your party no ebe mo bi ehun ya party for no hunu mu say the man bebre omu ya no it is in their own interest it is to satisfy their whims and caprices and out of the party the nipa bi omu na no motion atade na mo bobo bi no abodini wasahene okumkom boafo na ayebiafo wanwani wona didi man bidie ni ade what they are using you and the party to get a micro percent of it and I was like 1% improve na mu wona mo so mu se na wanwani cappuccino capo wanwani obidumbie general wanwani masha fed masha adwuma wura wanwani ya beka kan ni aso de ye me betra de wo me hono me meka me wia na batesi abonten obi na ya ase ye ya mna be ye a norm in our body politics say utimi mafia obi a and I want to say na wo ye boss wo na wo adwuma the Ashanti Regional Election Review Committee ye no me man site sade ni wom say ni paint me for bone nche ni pedi won nua MPP ni ho asem hye ni tirim to the extent that say eye wuo say de be on fa kra ye to obawie ye former President Nado eko ye Thanksgiving say nyankopon aka no ho aboa no na ni 8 years obetime di mampani awie na oko and no so the 60th anniversary or remembrance of JB Dankwa and also so no me hu se course both of them who former vice president to ho me who Dr. Baumia ho what might be the reasons something very important than those occasions need taken away or mere coincidence don't speak for mere coincidence or what maybe been taken away or mere coincidence be an crowd but if not let's go
if cross
Dr. Solomon Kwatin Fokuo a senior lecturer Kumasi Technical University my name komo budget tomorrow parliament working committees formed a finance minister say wakwe engage a year before no more didn't come Saturday after Friday cabinet approve budget no na Saturday okushom so okodwo majenchire first it was say national security for whether they have intercepted, they have impounded, they have traced, they have catch say containers full of dollars, cedis and gold bars basically yente hu bibia bio nano ada last week I say from Cape Coast to Accra Road and also suno cocaine, parcels of cocaine, suspected cocaine worth $150 million and also suno almost say former NDC parliamentary candidate be on also so and omo suspect say and also so echeno basically yente hu asembio illicit cigarettes worth 20.6 million Ghana cedis. Good. And also so no northern region honum baby. Dr. Fokuo, my worry is when some of these things, these stories begin to come up.
I don't know why I will start to preamble. No say it's worried. I
didn't say no.
No.
Sir.
Regime be about or on the priority. On the priority. MPP regime it tries on fight it friends drugs in this illegal name and no fight it pa we no attention needs our side ho attention is aside. You about
Ghana today that because the national security for near night before any abra woman na mkofo fie no mu bedroom ne wo mu washroom hwehwe wo mu a sebe wo mu suspect say wo di bone anazo ma for man sika na saa ne ma no de
you see sanka wo is serious obi a ye wo sika a ye di nasem ebu anfo 100 and something million Ghana cedis. Said the number. Tamaku. Ye court of competent jurisdiction e buan for. Same fanintum. Munums what USM. Nkanye national service need there mo suspect mo nyan di na sam kra mo sano sam ko hena brochiri usi ya machi na kwese baby. We the think a low hanging fruit. Ye di asam na bibia wie. Go and bring her. But I'm not interested about that. You know, anything, that is the mistake most Ghanaians did. This NDC government, you know, obey anything to favor the party for, then call for, then you do something small, be not amount for the dollar, be dinechi. No retaining power, and as a matter of Obama. That's the strategy, you know. Oba is the political on the side, no one here. So, Sanyama, we say, think of be akofa gold. Sikanographers no say fake me boy. Fake dollars. Any fake Ghana cedis. Na suppose somebody be gum ni edi. Say because edi na be bra fake. O kai say drum be your mama time back no. Na 50 Ghana note na. Because so at the point in time what the toto ho ambon say. Unya hodo be say 10 to ho na bia
size.
Color. Size na se food nyina na differ. They differ. And say enyangonga ba kokura so hu de ekoso galamsisi ya so gina oboase road no sa kwan no so kwa na say mu say friends payload o say no low bed no so papa akoka payload say be sana kwa en excavator anya ba ko ni so mbi 2 MPP town na man for 2 galamsisi ba na kwa na ye 1 this so
we power authority for send the last month or so Galamsey ekoso wanchi need that area hono.
When you say wanchi muzie
it is putting the Bui Dam no in danger.
Me so wanchi area hono so the food basket.
Yes.
Nchom de wura hot there. Now gina ho because of food inflation e wo so. Now be hu bibia. It's a joke. It's a joke. It on the oba so oba no be enriching in coffee be any other means be any means be because some can say ukuma bo no wi a ombeche and now my house here
and there no contribution no chop
nti o mo che nti obi okope MP a wanya parliamentary candidate was the wanya no ono akofa cocaine kwa wealth $150 million nti next time what me the coy we ni ache no obi otimi afa we the meaning so the nkuma ani akese akopen the next time no o ba woni we ko contest say wo MPP ni so ko gina sa ho na no ko contest ya so wo di agro $150 million wo hwe gu dem how ko cities wo hwe gu ha e be bro osan ya kayo e just a governor mo ne betimi akai says ka we body yetimi kai says ka we so they are preparing themselves they are preparing themselves so they want to perpetuate power. They want to be seat in they don't want to go. And anything that they will do to maintain power, no, they are doing it. How to enrich certain group of people. And they are empowering them. I tell you. They are empowering certain people economically, financially. And then they are empowering them so much that a middle time, you know, untouchable. So Mr. Kroma de can could do baby afraid. Nobody get closer to you because on Tresica, on Montresca be Branson or Benipano. And that's what they are doing. So anyway, tell our people say they should be on the lookout. They should be on the lookout. Selective justice in a day. Munya Muntiasi say Ebecosa one of Munya and Mudi Diagro. Selective justice, no, Ebecosa because they don't care so much. and they are more and more the converse Ghana for no do no converse mom could do much. Other than that, research in saying Ghana for a October man. But they went and I don't know what I say a man bus. And you know, that's what I can say.
Wow, I hear Juma national security pain be an young one. NDC Basso. Omo beso omo ya ade bia omo shada ko chesi die mfaso ni so na amana beluki se de omo beti bia no e bia sa na bewie on sa fake dollar ni ade ade omo so omo ko hu yi na eno de o ye adwuma wo NSC a most of the times unya o be hu sa cases ni bi ya na these fraud boys a omo ne nko for chat ni ade ade no they create something na omakwakoy but when they see you know they only per the inter some of us have heard no near there no actually say it was one of those cases but not rare count but omokovane say you be na on the side fraud boys now as me me war be Afghanistan na say you see Ukraine war no war Ukraine ma ko PS ka bi say so it we this ka bi say ba scan Ukraine na that was the case and omo di bia de and me anya me nwanwa ye wie ye be hu tamale seta enrade se na tamale no direct ni cocaine ni hwe de ma na ekoso na ya party bia ba power ye go for mo sponsor so mo sponsor na party ni nya ba power e wo so mo ti wo mo ka enti eniema ekoso no should tell you say aden na eniema we NCC NPP time na na ACC na minyina kwanya we su kura nsamfa asidama nyankopon ma chama wuntumi didi amega se memfa because say ni hu sane first I ba ha be di nkomo proud to the election ukobia na obi butawa na galamze ekoso aden na muntumi nka eze chama wuntumi na aje concession nyina onu na aje concession nyina na ote ha na one ne ohene ba omoma obia na o maje kakra na wo ye galamse no asama na ekono no edi nkofo na o mani abere yega etu galamze ezu sa nyina anim se chama wuntumi na yetu ne tusa sese mi busa o chama wuntumi no onna ne Mahama aka abom na eze galamze ni se ekoso ana so hu ade anyame aye ekua no omo kunu nyina no na nya se galamze na no wo beso omo kun they felt say NPP camping se bia chama wuntumi e na age concession wo kumase ne baabi e Ghana ha bia e no no na cheche ti asem no because ukọ no obi bisafu kwa na galamze munya ho ase mo boss na mse chama no kra no apart from so all concession yes new month mo de na opeso wo ye bi no minyini se san galamze nkitingiti ordinary di akiri eno no kra o kasetia o ka dai obi ante enne the rare galamze campings no in town enne they are in town so what you say na ye me de
na no de see enche ya na video e cover viral omo chi omo anka say Mahama bodyguard
asam no and me just say the rare
and then I will win traditional authorities no so no etwadwan wo MP ni tiri so NDC MP tiri so
because
that don't go ya che say ohun so bi e de yi soso kura bonifie ni mu kura no ye adwuma wo fom a obetwe ma wuntumi dia be hyem no ene de okwa o say he disappointed in opinion leaders traditional authorities and then the Ghana police administration
Ghana
police administration what so wo papa ne dampare
nyame ene ye da nase se ene de
no forest ni first ni de obo forest ni dia o say NDC NPP Ashanti regional chairman
so that eti ba me ade ya me japa me se bebe se ye luzu abaminsi ha me nkasa already bia so ena me who say last week o say as I don't go the to one say Thursday as I say and why arobi o ni din bi
and let go supposed to be and yes by no obo ba bia mine na ekoso no omo ni pakwa ye din
eti me de me eno as am NPP ho asane organized labor ni ade no mo beso mo ye nyina no enne obi ahun say enye sanity and I'm very very happy. I'm extremely happy say enkakra man we go say always give time some time no kura bi e dead no would ma emre kakra bi a ebebam one ba me de saa seda na manyankopon o chama wudumi ma mento aso you see president bia amre bi na me captain ko de din komo na me say papa na mamu okura ye team printing kwa ye politics e de pa na ye hwe ozufo ku o hawa ye ko Ghana ha no eye ohia so ye president na wo ba o mandate ye ba ko pe kwan baba so ko mo ohia o strategy ye mienu wona wa free hia mu no obabo o mamo mo enko hia mu bi na wo mo wo hia mu no wabo o mo amaye dey asa free hia nim so what ya so mo wo mu no wabo etu wo ni ye mienu pe na wo he ya say be ready budget aya kwaje cabinet approval awie ye wie ya makolafo timuzama mo say etimakolafo yi so wo ka say 11 no mamo mfa ma na say mu ba be increase ni wo new budget ni mu a mo be kwa akoye edit yana possible ana wo hene ba me asem no mentiase
some akase Ghanaians should brace themselves for this populist decisions and activities NDC for be no so one do asem no mu ya wo be bon won sema ma omo ma eche be nu.
I'm still confused first years na e ka say betua sika na ma wo mo tio besine ye tuai now omo manifesto no ye youth youth manifesto rally bi wo omo se omo nim number na e be wie no because they had it now budget na omo be ye no omo be ye omo matese say na reduce say omo matua no ombe reimburse am now the one thing yanko na otifie no ombe reimburse sika na de akoma na what think na because who did din na ye o manifesto who did din na ye campaign say o numbers no omo be wie ni nyina no o and to omu nyina ne omu nko school edimi bi say sika de kwa akoma no wo fie ana say obi a ono no ne nsam obi a watimi anya sika akotua dada no ono na say de koma no
ana ombetua with interest
ujune ade no ho and that is the fair deceit strategy NDC use
the okobo obesia de man ba koy na so obetua man obetua with interest ana
so atiase o bekwa ojune ho a won tiase ana say sika no oji a so oji bosia na interest na de nipa na asem tina okoya na say obai na make say president there wasade ba ko pe say obeboa ma nipa a o ma free hia mu no o nko hia mu bi na o mo wo mu watwe o ma pi wa ba president Kufuado afa mabunu nyuma minim omo aya dismiss wo no I'm here to see somebody claim say what try 30 I'm here to see one per wo hwe yi ni mu a wo data na eba ni nyina na they are all less than 30 o pusu omu nyina ekọ the poverty bracket it will be on ma organ because ye dey appointment ne ma no e say ko akọji loan bi na odi atoto ne mpane ade o obi fro pa na osu a ohene ba enya de keto na aseda ne de be manyankopon se eniema na start yezi ye bompa ye chena hwebe de wo mutiri mu nyina mo first impression be baba be gu ho de wo nyina so mo betwa 11 so mo ntwam because ye ne ye adwuma report ne de oba na o promise taxes a this why na yenim se o be fa pa because hene ba port na e ho no so ho on say and contribute about 60% of the revenue so what I say now this e-levy betting tax and COVID no so about almost 20 billion Ghana cedis 20 billion yes kaketwa 20 billion yes kaketwa udina o sa tax ni nyina obeyi afio and a port so de na de o ya no more the access system no every Tuesday bi o mo update o mo ne ma et Tuesday no ya one week better so betime
say you dey betime you but on ba so ba bi
ne ifri o wi na ye behwe ni a say wo be dey because eniema wa promise no so many o me tweet now some say hey NDC bia no be magic e just o mo say o matimi ma the richest man kra than the driver there ebia na o mo sika bi o ba bia on tell say asem no
dey hen
o mo Ibrahim Mahama richest man is one year president shefa on tell say asem so on year president driver
you have a security background. How do you see that?
I think that they don't know what they are doing. They don't have any.
That's what I say. Imagine say it was Gabi or Chidako.
They don't know.
That's Ashanti be there too.
You see, when the president is here,
air driver man penny with the presidential crown, presidential badge. No bueno.
Don't say Saudi and Captain Kuda and AD anymore. On and in charge of it. The moment assemble to president in the panel, Saudi director of security no, any a best friend. So what I say, no one answer my national security. So what the national security coordinator now I call can say minister for defense because was a nipa na oye no or sa background. So what I say because nipa the only security services no the man etna president care ni no e ni soldier ni na odina na chi no. It should tell you something. So what I say it means someone said director of security at the presidency no I was by now ya fire no I was by now ya fire because nipa wo to president can is he on your payroll is he part of team now what they konana and what the oil and as a family garden no muko they are going on official duty it is director of security no if you are a serious country by now he should be fired. Whoever is the director of security for the president at the presidency should be fired. The national security coordinator should be fired. Defense minister mostly. The man say the national security coordinator, the director of security of the president, and also defense ministers should all be fired. And then they who kwa Ibrahim Amosi Twika Hana. What you did Dandan who say you? Who be the drafted one who be that empty. Oh, Kwanana Ben Moon, yes, I in even a coffee assembly. And yet, what you say? A year would or starting anyway, cruelty, mockery, and I would say a good year and what they are starting the presidency.
Well, honorable MP for some 2 months in parliament.
Yes.
Is it exciting?
I mean, your question you're asking whether it's exciting. Well, Juma, my friend said, constituencies across the country. I mean, NPP parliamentarians in Nano. Yeah, dear mine for me. So I'm for a dear summer me. Manage in fact, it is humbling to know, say, out of so many thousands of people in the constituency, me constituency, who say, "Omopese me kosum ma womo ewo emreshe bedefi." Nti idea manage na and I'm grateful to them for the opportunity to serve them. Nti yeah, I can say it's very exciting.
You want to say?
Well, I mean, so far, you can say it's so good in the sense that Juma in the parliament, you know, the kind say you hold the executive accountable. So if you're president in a powerful, no, very so mubejina baby pa umbeye and yama papa. They also and say yebeshe emra. And the toss were also to dimu pekese pan say yebekasa ama yamanfo nti this and yama me say to who meet me I say it's been good. It kind the fact that we hold the government accountable the business the ministers no yeah or appoint to my be vetted through the advice and consent clause now so far no you John Dramani Mahama ni nipa odomu baya no ye omu edomu fasa process ni magana fo ehu nipa omu ba besumo mu se omu asoafo de tosumi no aye say ye kasa ma manfo no so far I've asked questions of the Minister for Energy about the doom situation in the Ashanti region and in Swami in particular and mayor statement so on the effect of electric vehicle importation on Swami magazine.
Okay.
And I can say I'm also speaking as a voice for my people. The legislative aspect now, I feel near Besha with the composition of the committees. And makes me like I say so far these 3 things no yaimutu aka emrashenan kasano I beshe the first part ebeye said the engineer can budget no if we are see a pass appropriation bill a bit me ama abano yisika na was spend it will be one of the first bills ever pass and I can say with our responsibilities as members of parliament and in my case it like I said you say me I shall see
2 months into the 4-year mandate Swami 4 Ede Amawo and then Ghana 4 Ede Ama John Dramani Mahama and the NDC issues of national interest and some I shall say also termination of appointments, chasing perceived corrupt government officials in the erstwhile administration, the subverting of, so to speak, be a more parliamentary orders, standing orders. We see you say speakers there be mobile minority, it was like you have your say, they will have their way near their day. How do you see the direction of minor echo?
Okay, so I think maybe let's take all the issues one by one. What do you call termination of appointment? Idea hardly. Appointments be NPP are buying and refuse. They were all legal. And unless you go through the Labour Act, now or acquire first we terminate employment, now they are terminating employment of these people. Any way of terminating the employment is deemed illegal. And me adaroma, in be at the Assembly Court. Now Parliament, so we wanted to engage in some form of parliamentary inquiry. Speaker at the time, Speaker no say a dream Bernard here for a release a seminar a Supreme Court today into me and can be so that matter for us in Parliament, as long as that ruling stays, it's a closed book. But a idea more or minor if you say any part umunya employment ni na Ghana for no more apply for all these jobs I feel now more employment na aba megidi say enye se aban na office no boni bi na ode aban ebe na emum na or responded to the needs of the people. In fact, we had nurses ni teachers na kra na omo associations na ka say omo hia say any pan, and there's no need to withdraw their appointment. So on that score, clearly you can say we are on the wrong direction. Secondly, the fact that as a HAC, the former government officials, as if so more aye boneno. Again, let's analyze it. Maybe the immediately say on my aye shichino say obi womuna say or your man bonny or say mrano no EDC or so omrano no EDA. Nimum nini nemune na mrakwanso na eye. Say ye pesi who say ye fight sekretashe ene proya ye kwati sekretashe ene proya dia. No see ye yemu bi who say adia o man ye pesi ye nie. Nti the area John Dramani Mahama ne atenejero mu ye ya enipa no mu no adi kan di o man ni dwirim. Omu case say of course okoyi efiri ho na obi ti say Johnson Esiama owie o san ye ne governor na owie na afi osi wo bachi obi ewo abanda da animu a na wo mabro ni beka say impression bi say wo no opese wo de wo nkrofo o mai bono wo bom ho ba dum be hye ontumam na bom ho ban na abanda da no nkrofo de wo di wani usi wo mo so say o mai bone eyesa na ma the image and the fight against corruption inya the kind of momentum it needs, because look on my ketasene project edi enya pa enti aban bi obabia no also etimi kuti asade no na okun etia ketasene project dia ene na o se wo ye broni beka say even enko say wo de na wakata so na obi de wo bie so esa na ma ketasene no ne kun no. So when it comes to the fight against corruption, with the kind of withdrawals government officials under the old regime, Mahama and the former regime, clearly shows that Omunya committed to fighting corruption. And for me, that is a worrying situation. You mentioned which one was the third one?
So the third one was a fee honomono. Yes.
I mean, more or less, there's a version of our standing orders. Look, your standing orders, by the way it is, any bit me are suspended your standing orders. But generally, I say for consistency, I say standing orders, it's me a year. One of the things the NDC they sought to do, you're fighting against the fact that we share from the first parliament 93 up to last parliament Now she said a bad debate a nipa omu debate on both sides no motion or say 5 a debate from the left 5 a debate from the right. Now I feel mu by almost say sadi and yense no na say ni use ratio and am so mu ratio
no do so sene monti
it is nipa me ansaka say NDC ansa na ye mu ba ko abekasa. Look, we fought against it. In fact, that here for year now we say or implemented our policy no. All of us in the minority, you know, said no business will go on, and then you know, or suspended parliament. Emma Speaker Babi Nemu and the buyer, he listened to the argument and he said, look, the minority is right. If you say, if we come to our the popular saying in the parliamentary democracy that the minority will have their say and the majority will have their way, clearly shows that or see the Timi Kasa, the one see a Bekasa. The do Kasa and so up so by Kasa no free in chain down per se, a Bekasa, Esa na hardring. And indeed, idea, a non speaker, idea to rule, and it was fair. And you use precedents. Precedents are when you actually say, Ubia Kasa, an equal number of people from each side of the divide and the Kasa. And indeed, you know, on that score, he did very well. The other areas that they had tried to change our rules, in their favor, some of them are really not, for me, not big issues. But our leader, Afenyo Markin, has done well. He's done fantastic, holding the fort, ensuring that we can only get the right thing. Look, the last one, and then I'm about the fact that also to me present a statement motion on the termination of the appointment of these people, and now can I say this gentleman, sorry, here for honorable here for it will say or the name case no Supreme Court if we say Nipan say honorable from your market was moving the motion. Me I was surprised because what he did, I say we are ceding our parliamentary authority to the third arm of government. We should be able to also investigate things on our own because we are also an equal branch of government. And I think it was wrong. Tr0uble because of partisanship, we seem to forget the law. Parliament is a very powerful institution, and we shouldn't, because as in this case, NDC they have majority, succumb parliamentary authority under the executive nor judiciary. Yes, and now we are shortchanging the authority of Parliament.
So, nominees are mobile for vetting. The questions that were thrown to them, the responses that came, how do you see the quality of the human resource who are going to serve as ministers and deputy ministers of state in the next 4 years?
That's a very tough one to say. Some of them didn't answer the questions the way we wanted. The chairman actually protected them. In terms of
that's what you see.
Yes, of course. Clear example. Miami
from responding to some questions.
Yes. Miami professor, Dr. Ini, he taught me, very good friend. I asked me a question about company I know representing just before NPP, after NPP lost election, Omar filed over $300 million claim against government. On an lawyer, on what letters in the
Attorney General.
And I say, Ubaya Attorney General, Omar filed case our Attorney General, and also defended. So when I asked him the questions, now
$300 million,
over $300 million against the Republic. So I told him clearly that it will be conflict of interest to represent the Republic because what put you all the documents together. So I asked him a question: that do you believe in the propriety of this case against the government? Why am I not answering question? And for me, that would have been very important. So to me, Ghana for because a case no file, he doesn't believe in the propriety of that case. That would be one answer. With me, because he will believe in their case against the government.
Another angle.
He didn't let him answer. So, in terms of Oman says, for me, a be answer questions, a be also we might answer questions. And media, I believe that going forward, if I had my way, we have to change the format. Say, corner say, I see what 3 questions. One here now could be saying about Kuni Dean Crown and Shaman because that's also a question. So I believe that I see use of time. So okay, maybe you have 10 minutes. If you can ask 10 questions within the 10 minutes, you ask. I believe that we should do that. And more information from the people. Look, and yet, very young him say some George all right, and for me, those were telling moments. And Obia wono with me fly. Say every man to be a for close to a year.
Yeah.
Now kwabrichi now kusiade na bia na okoba de bia na okoba. One of the things the Musa Kran said whether he had the authority of the speaker today because he had absented himself so many times from Parliament. You are going there to represent your people. Now, Bosumi be out here at school. How do you represent your people of Pram? So those were the questions. We could to Abra. And my young say, Sikaniti son was so high dying, which are about $8,000 a month. These were issues that came out from the vetting. In other jurisdictions, there would have been.
On a good job, like my Mimbusa say, and near my documents or yes, or be presenting.
One farmer.
One farmer.
So
and it has ended there, just like that.
That's a sad thing. Mutual report, and I found we all demanded those things. Say one farmer, we cannot go on, but more numbers. More numbers. So when they have the numbers, they can do anything. And Tina, people for a fairly be any abre. I was more on trouble. And more these huge numbers in Parliament, and they can do anything. Some judge, and near more cars will be one farmer. Or be can't Ghana for. So we should begin to hold them accountable. And it's sad to say, I say, why now could see what be Ghana for any more for Bible as well as over Canocre. Now, so the name I say, should form the basis of approval and one farmer. We shouldn't, in any serious republic, these guys shouldn't be occupying the positions they are occupying.
Great. So for me, lawyer John Darkon, MP for Swami. And aiding Komo earlier on what Dr. Solomon Kwati Fuku, senior lecturer at Kumasi Technical University, and Afi Wache Albert Fuku, on also Kokopempi, Dinkantin Kwati, and then the colleague MP, and it to announce no one home into a core primaries no away. Abia Obesa could be that chain. Right. Maybe I will engage you on your appointment as the legal counsel for the minority,
sure. And
then we go back home some constituency 2 months. What are you doing there? But I want to introduce Dr. Fuku into this conversation on all lecture at a technical university in the Medina Koswame.
Okay.
Now, from your committee, science and environment technology. Now, or your technical university lecturer, you're phasing out these vehicles. And then with the introduction of electric vehicles, the focus of was a consultant, and what will you advise? How should they prepare themselves to meet the change urban so that they will not remain redundant?
Also, technology transfer but the illustrate honorable brand resource placing through the beaches from current and yes, no matter what they do, a time they come and they will face out. The time will come when they'll be faced out. There's all my curriculum a train, the new waves in urban. Also, in computer specialist, so more people. What's the first from my Zoom? I'm maybe a computer specialist. Computer cars in the deal. So, injectors na so for nkrani nyina no efu this no kwa na usua sa so no kwa na ode ya a time will come you may be out of job nti e stress omo update omo na nya omo ankasa no they cannot do it on their own, you know. All of we are foresighted person of the head obetime ladies are we know ama e bia obenya nko ho free Japan obenya nko ho free aba abe workshop kakra mo na omo upgrade omo any boys ni bi kutipita ne marketing kitibi o de ka no ko no say omo say a detective from e bit detective bi also medum no That's what the Zubi. If you are not
check engine.
I was in my clear. If you are a stop on the Kabatina, 4th and Casabi, in the Tetin. Signing money in idea, I don't say, you spend it time, a more. No one says, I will almost say, Lucian Newton. Ubi how cut then, and the phone was it. With the car for because you were from the never Tadanana.
Ude oka akoma wo mu no na watwitwa wo ye ne bi na notes no bi otutu afiri mu wa disconnect ni ma busa say enye hwe wo ho kwa
no any direct cut off the vpn no ye fu ya na sare it no sane man nyina no de o mu ye fortune so manya obi a MP o person obo o mu atin say emre no do ha they should avail themselves obo Okatakyie University mechanical engineering department almost our machines in answer me I'm not so much into those things multimeter professor Prince money we more Prince Usan some betimi atre almost sa ne mani nyina bi Avic Center bi almost sa tools ne mani nyina bi technology bi but we yes we the free crowd bi ma we the free among say omombra we the free among crowd na obu ho crowd na o say omba titi de na that's really true but I can't you almost say honorable protective almost saying say electric vehicles no bia me market say na say back say protective almost saying a time will come up no more continue with their old style now they will done that on say the Tr0uble for no apart from say almost to national
Foko
Yeah.
Se said yeah amaba ye one of the major legs are part no ejina so the mighty 88 in parliament holding the government accountable energizing the party's base and then taking some critical decisions especially when reps on the national council no in attempts to rebuild restructure coupled with the parliamentary works on one be now secure next way. How do you see that responsibility?
I think they are really carrying themselves. Somebody like Honorable Dapo say, "Ote nipa obeshe ni shoe na me na mnehoya mmobo." Because somebody with such huge experience
contribution to our fourth republic parliament.
Now Oba say the shoe no. One the way I'm just saying is he going to have the same stability a man enjoy, you know? Because we said you see kasa me nipa me admire omo pa because you know they started political communication in Tiamuna near the starting. So bribo a kire ne abronya mo ne ade no okikemu a ba we obi ze ofuriata ene papa mu no obi otimi ye politics wa bra won kikemu bia me admire pa. So watching him from afar, my heard the press conference bi ne ade no, I think I really admire him from afar and one the also be support obeyi napu they are really demonstrate so the legal brains they say, and I think we should do everything to contribute to protect them. No munya almost stability, no more fan contribute. So because already said there na Dr. Fuku can problem I what so I'm honya grow and almost your best almost say drew ho na changes be but mo mfa ni brand me so honorable so because emre bi atwam na e telephone wo fufu a na ya be frost wanya call na di
information center ukoya so dia to na obesa afre
e free ho na ba credit
obi so kwehye butunu mu a so be pie na obi abewura
e free ho no na mobile phone yi ba kakra enti omo a na omo yesa you know omo be ye credit ton ena na credit no ye the mobile money na eto enti omo nyina so migrate abeton phone so ati ase enti obi a no wo sa side ni bi na onye mobile money a oton phone so ati nkomo na enti omo nso nhwe how they can adapt to the change na eba na mwa na maka say mi say minim say enya de obekwa akoye report national council because enya de ya ba bi a wa fa no ada say legal na say we no me propose an say e wo say ye nyina no ye boa na stability bi eba your primaries no so they be am bit because say omo nyina me say adwena omo dwena ya omo next primary so so ati ase me hu ni say eniema miensa na edi enya honorable moko ayi ana mo so maye and ebe protect me ebe boa mo so mbe so mo ba on board nyina so etimi aba one say the current number no money easy for people who have the pocket but don't have the brain to execute the parliamentary job no etimi bem. So the numbers must be increased. 2, the current structure of the party, you know, Mimi say, Emma, a lot of people feel neglected. A lot of people feel neglected. Aside 5 now meeting biane ade because omona we there we MP upe say ordinary member hoka now so okwa yi na police station ni so hoka you choose your scale of preference. It mean say yeah expand you know enko we aside that me say who ni say you make sure say enipa you bet me do on my board they be recognize o ma be to abani be bet me aboa ma at least a dane be to aba so be bet ma hwepi nipa ma be to aba so me dey na me suggestion you say your current 5 no you fan ko at least 50 na you say your chairman your 5 you make sure say every bia no 5 ya na 10 the day America say every polling station bia nipa to aba between 400 to 700 people. It is when you nipa 50 a omo to aba ni bia edu on mo bia fa nipa 10 pe kra na they can ship them to come and vote. So that is me argument am deba me the day America say you see say 50 na e be ya den we dey multiply the number of polling station wo ha obi ntimi influence. Nobody with deep pocket the bit my be influence. A bear strictly by brain. I dream out the beto and the bit me aboa man I dey. A be yin to kwana way because to abano ye me free me old executive near the any they can all become part of it. Now boama stability because party no a form near brother a be boama obia ba be ye adwuma ni. The moon is all there. Instead of polling station membership, executive membership no, any executive committees. So chairman has a committee of 10 people, secretary has a committee of 10 people, women organizer has a committee of 10 people, youth has a committee of 10 people. But you know we 50 no. We need 50 now near the execute project. Okay. Because omo is ya no. Ade omo dwena ho pa no and who Kumasi crowd there na home obo. We Kumasi no after primaries ni ato aba na wi. And this is a ho no ma after primaries no. Now we say kwa Prez obekwa intermediate say say mu nyina mo. All right. Now, you say when a minority, no, you say, umumre say, bibia when the need arises, una ukudi animu na yako. Early days, you kwa yahunu akotia issue, ablikuma no for the end. So it is expected to say, and also soon will add up to the already huge responsibility or how did you receive the news and how are you preparing yourself to live to meet the expectation of the minority?
Well, I mean, that's I think say the first part, no, I received it with a lot of gratitude. Minority leader approaching me, say, I think no a core parliament for no. In his early days, he was made more or less a legal advisor to the caucus at the time, and he feels that he needed somebody like that in this parliament. And he approached me. He said, Mr. Tr0uble, I mean, I've been a practicing lawyer for the past 16 years. By our constitution, I'm actually eligible to be in the Supreme Court. So, in terms of the legal practice, by way of preparation, I have a very solid team. My own private firm is there that can support me. But our main job is actually advise or I should say my main job is to advise the caucus on legal strategy and what to do legally. By way of going to court, part legal outfits, no. But we communicate. Legal outfits. The idea anymore. Gary, many do come on Okatakyie. Any all these. We all discuss legal strategy. And you know, for me, it's just an honor to serve my party wholeheartedly in any form. I've been asked to do this, and I'm willing to do it. I want to believe, say, with any legal advice, maybe the leadership should also take it and consider it. So that's what it is. It's a lot of job, but for me, I see a some, and I'm grateful. Say the leader of the party in the house, who submitted me as a Jumano, no dear mammy.
And then your constituency, what to say?
Very good. So
Mama space kakra say okọ enchant eju ahome na after be 1 year ya shasia police course no me bab dan so apa ya kwan yensuo ono be dum light no school fees when Mama grace period be ana and I say you started experiencing the baptism of fire.
Well, I mean, I would even call it baptism of fire. As part of the job, and I don't think that me here grace period be a per se. Once I was sworn in on the 9th of 7th January, and I'm saying Jumano Asha say, dear meet me I abua minuanum biano, me yabua. I am limited because a party nearby meet me or from but so far Tr0uble me go so a concern I say me concern me answer. Me go so sorry that we must say serum babon tinebe to abamai. So every weekend be and every other weekend be no me constituency ma me call na me da we must say me champagne for more constituency no modi nkomo. And look, Juma as a parliamentarian we dey say we betie unianum how na solutions are no for the aba. Like I said, me betie for some time say na dum light was to me pa nti I have filed, like I said, I have filed a question to the Minister for Energy Obeba Bensa in the course of the week, I believe. Nti Juma Mayor so far nyamiadum atoyenchen bia NC constituency, and I hope say it be NC ho say the bear I'll have to come down to help. I did see I had dream back na eja I share magazine mene all the MPs from Kumasi yakoho e kan bom na efese eni enuanuma mo ehun aka adwamre kodi nkomo. I'm still trying to look for where bit me abeboa wo mo financially is menya bibia me dey so betu abe support wo mo. Enti constituency has been good. Me the idea mesre me man for and say o me nyina mo na en keep constituency ni ye. Look, and then I make kind baby say ohwe enra na me na magazine ho from Matthias Elko post office na me do mo say windshield car windshield it seems say broken ones egu kwa ho bebrebe. And I'm asking myself say I didn't think my day we go obi na be adwuma no wa obi be share ne new one na old one ye nyina egu nchen egu kwa ho ye expect say aban na be ye free ho meanwhile when why ye enya osika so na yen keep conscience clean. It's sad say enei unama obi num nsuo no agya to form eto nsuo no rubber ne ato gatem ha dwen ma conscience ne mu efi obia momodin say we de bia wonko a wote no keep the place clean. Obia ne de nkakra say ebeboa magazine gya hihie esu obi o ha okọ anwumre a wapon adwuma no Friday Thursday Friday na juso no asoja a obi a wabobo na ma no asoja se wo hye no agya hokọ adwuma enframatimi boja no na akoto obi shop ene ma ahye wo ho ne ka abano nya senkeso enti ade se de ade hia me ba ko ye kwan timpon na sa kwan no de enye so amefon kwan no se bo ho mpae Kumasi Ashanti man again and if you international road I see it me ni ya beboa easy the traffic situation in the country. Many Minister for Roads Edinkomo Okatakyie said the government is committed to finishing this. Are
you expecting to hear from the 2025 budget an allocation to the Swami interchange, and then ancillary roads are Akano.
I am hoping for that, and I'm always saying that budget way, I'll call it a successful budget if I know it's will address infrastructure deficit. Business Swami coin. I would say the budget is successful if we are able to make provision to find a way to fight galamsey. I'll call it a successful budget. Say Timibua $80 so must the stable because many of most of magazine be important yama and you know idea say it me na a must the stable ababua. I also call it a successful budget. The idea to make a provision for stabilization of the food inflation, that the inflation will be stabilized. We don't want up and down, so the food prices will be stabilized. If we're able to do these things in the budget, I'll call it a successful budget. But look, we are yet to see. So interchange must be completed. Now, any traffic situation in free Krumah. Me, I'm worried. I always say I'm worried because me share a name across where memo not present by a bit deliver in the State of a National Address. One of the policies they say Okada be legalized. You know. And when I was speaking on Friday, me on the floor. Me say into a man man ride Okada so my Marco school much more ways on Baba Okada like this.
Okada.
But this is what they are pushing these young men to do. We really need to find a better way of creating employment in this country than these knee-jerk, reactions. Budgets need share anymore. I hope, my hope really is that look, we need to pray for them to succeed. By any when people need him say, even in their best, it won't beat what we have done. And so we are praying and hoping that this government, President Mahama, and these people will succeed. Yeah.
But I forgot the budget is coming tomorrow.
The budget, no say NDC most of the time, so populace they do things to please their people. Until near market and get you on by Ghana for be
but
in the long run, be able to say the nation. May say. Betimi because use taxes in the floor near her, you say for tax for because I say over widen tax net. Now we levy free. Who can first over widen tax net no Ghana has it because say he living there almost say Ubia or we be now Ubia to be. As I see how you free how we are. No, you say other top tax and one white tax in the free we are. But they will come out. Say it's your motive society. So the society say workers' salary adjustment just 10%. 10%. Just 10%. So you know, union leaders no. Come the just 10%. Will be a moje 10%. People are not more 10%. Will be a 25% no. More complaining, but 10% will pay by no more stress. More no money what happened behind the scenes. The teacher union for the Musa penny for the problem say Musa Ali Nikabono. Musa said didn't get 10%. Yes, you Musa and call from didn't get 10%. So now the 10% now in financial space. A lot of breathing space and don't come to my inflation crab form. And don't come to my inflation form. It is a Obaki Kanyaman Biblia, a sacrifice in a Ghanaian workers, no, a year at the amount. Also, inflation, so Sunday, the food inflation components, and extra papa. It means strategy will be good from Amma King Kinanum say 7 cities, no, Abba, a be at 3 cities. Because I buy no German import to the Anibi Eddie Biguha, Nanka, or no, a Bergman, the Tama, a Wyden. No, could be so much time school for them of Adiaka. Yes, how obey me. I'm going to supply Nama stabilization at Timiaba. Nama a Greek sector. So bet me at the policy Biaba. I'm a Greek sector. No, Arivampoa Mahonako, so say no or Mokana. We are here. The Galam say no is dangerous now. Is dangerous. So say you need a car truck in a day. Caterpillar say excavator corner. Says a fat tutu. and for one year, for two, and it's dangerously. Now, can be me busa a ship dealer say, "Oh, this is wrong your demonstration, bio."
Well.
So it's all of her Ghana shapes. On can't one symbol that professor is a jump. On can't one symbol.
And I read the ship.
No more ship.
What can she be like?
We got to pure from ship dealer. For go budget na honorable
my expectation is mensa. One, bese me hunu. What sikana one appropriate one a year you money. Sikana I think that was budgeted for. What is he going to use that money for? And Grano was sure was say will be to your first year in a moment. When yes, he came to your mother's fee. Says he can, what is he going to use for? Purpose no the best budget is it more valuable than or more I ask what nefi na and ask what more money yes he can put to. I'm looking at that. The second idea may be e-levy, COVID, and a betting tax. What is he going to do with it? So what you say? Second, a journey say me a graduate on employee. A duma me I go for near man and clear port more. I will be a fan near mamma would be a send there be yammer. Ye share a near ma or the big walk or porter. On the quad a entry. Stay about 17 taxes and NBP edgy. So 17 no, they say or be manaka 5 and 3 and 2 and but that's what in common as and no na me de ye bomb pie say or the beba ope won pew or say utimide taxa emfaso evans ebema importers wan hare wo mo ama honorable constituency mazifu yi bet me aga say omo import ne ma papa ye kojo kefu sumu ne dipa bi omo wo ho no omo ye major importers in this country say ye oil bibia so what you say nti ye hwe e ho no no owia say Wednesday wa ye nkoye ti krom ya ye hwe omo mo fidie so ewia ne asa be hwe say the okan ne say no wo ye no na afia de yie nso aye de atu yi
Laura ye be sorry ninim de obeka twato say over budget ne kakra and I say is the near issue
no the measure
but bishop say Ablekuma no what has the EC told more minority no about it Ablekuma no
the question
Ablekuma what we the EC has told us so here security no more the aqua county at the end
of the period to Kwana
well
I see
it's become such a major issue. I remember I said one time in Parliament the majority leader assured said they will take it up and Okatakyie Oba no be report we said the executives will be providing security and electoral commission in Edruma results no money say in favor into no more but I think that the electoral commission must find a way to get this thing out of the way. They make a try to apply your party once it's a party no and no idea or senior making sure say a bisumuye ya kokon akudi nkugo and so all is not lost. We've been here before MPP even 92 crowd ya nkokra 96 near North it may be lead in 2000 and 2004 and 2008 and 2012 2016 we had the biggest margin of victory both in parliament and in the presidential race and you lose you lose some of that in 2020 and 2024 you lose so it clearly tells you say at the pendulum the kwaha na baha is like up and down me abamu nemum me de mesre yempanyumfo awmudi party nim no obi an shovel in interest kakra na me I was explaining to my constituency say we have cavalry so war na different types of war machineries no be why they aponko na quantity there no say if the horse is sick that's why the battle you are sure to lose but if the horse is strong and alive mo yire mo hokwa by all means we beat me edi nkunim it even see party from the bottom all the way to the top na obi ama party no ehia ne kane ensene ono ne de se bia memetue bia medem ho akodi obi achi se nipa kro we ne ba obetimi ama me post we nti se nipa kro no kra emwa party ne nyina kra na meda so di na chi mesre se ye nyina yenyi saade no emfiri ho se de be ya ebetimi ama party no afana ntoma pa efra metia menya text message from a micro assemblyman or say micro administrative aban dada no be sha se na aka nsinsemu na minyan microphone no omoni abrepa park no ama park no muntimi mobo wo so bi I can assure them say metu ho na mo pa na menne they say the administrator of district assembly common fund omuna na yesa dwuma no edinkita ho na ahwe na aban no etimi abewie so am constituency me dey make an asidan ko maybe a many opportunity no da masi so mama me kwan say me nsumo mu na me dey pie boni say enfidudo bi o me dey bema me bia no me sum wi a omo betimi akasa abrantie ba no be sum ye and I can also look back and say that I did my part for the constituency, God and country and our party.
Thank you very much. I was for Masebe Denia or Jina de Shanem was Swami, lawyer John Darko, and Yenino Edin Kumwe, Dr. Solomon Fuku, Eleboache Albert Fuku, Subaye, backing vocals. I asked Papa Empina, honorable Empina, Abujina Po, Ebubo, appointees are John Mahama, President John Mahama, now ye. I am doing. I was about my video. Wait.
To the cost on the national exchequer. Because why do I say this? Take for example, the president has appointed Dr. Valerie Sawyer as senior presidential advisor in charge of government affairs. Her rank is a cabinet minister who doubles as a member of parliament. So her salary, her emolument, conditions of service, everything to do with her office is at the same rank as a cabinet minister who doubles as a member of parliament. The speaker is appointed a presidential advisor on economy, appointed presidential advisor for 24-hour economy, presidential advisor in special aid to the president, presidential advisor on national anti-corruption program, presidential advisor on diaspora affairs. The speaker, he goes on to appoint presidential advisor, presidential staffer, and special aid to the vice president, presidential staffer for Black Star Experience, and then presidential staffer for diaspora affairs. Mr. Speaker, then he goes ahead to appoint 5 policy advisors to the vice president. Mr. Speaker, he tells the country that he's appointed a minister in charge of agribusiness, and yet he's appointed director at the presidency in charge of agriculture and agribusiness. My good friend Peter Buama Otukon.
Obi a agent, or maybe a fortune, and meanwhile, Koswa, and your fake, ye foul. Teacher, ye foul. Nurse, ye foul, fire, prison, immigration, ye foul, yes, sir, ye be a Udini mo, Yamau Pina, ye Juma Kotoya Accountant General, I'll verify Chiaoka. Then the penfona to all the catch the any one say, O minimum shena, or mope a fraud. What do you mean? The insult is too much. And Ghanaians are quiet, we are not asking questions, we are not talking. And I'm penning for bit alpha system, no, Nanka National Service Authority. 500 billion every man go astray. 4 for 1 year. And go for with Sky Uradi. The Minister for Energy, John Abdullah Jinapo, Edin Sembia Tuja. Said the kind about low shedding. Now, Asama Okano, it's reminiscent of Napo Obiko Busa and say, Nawada Roma, low shedding. Emma, we are no in a certain man, a bimwani. Yentie Abdullah John Jinapo, Minister for Energy. I say we are not shedding load, and when we are not shedding load, there is no need for doomsday calendar. The same way, my Joboku Prempeko can be an anubi. No, on the end of Casa, so this is a schedule loader. ono ankopie the calendar ye abrantie je ne ho gena.
This gas processing would augment the shortfall and increase supply security. Today, let me put on record that we are not shedding load, and so the demand by the minority and some people.
NDC former Prez no, and so no school feeding no. NDC forum pa MPP ba woman pampo mo. Eti mesre me de fam wa fidie so say mesre woman organizers no say wo munya bote na this is September ending and sign your contract nasa say e ma sadia wo munya bote na wo ntwe say de ensuo ye no sa na wi abeye eti media me fa panye so da masre wo mo say I was saying nya bote talking here tafre ho but Africa kra no bi so Africa kra da bia nya pipi na veteran so e na nya da bia na ndi so veteran so eti mesrem fa mo fidie so na ensre wo mo say the omu ye no omu nyai
ale omu se women organizers nso omu nu aduane no
me ko me na me yare hospital me wo hospital on your fair me say woman organizer na regional woman organizer wakoto me office ni atutu safo ni nyina e de fofo atoto
oh
bo also na no kure watum enti me so man fra na mi sa no hwe say watum a office no ye nya ne sa ba sa djuma na ye ba kofo dia say the MPP echo no say na MPP NDC so betimi akọ enti ye nyina ye Ghana ko enti me sre wo mo ni woman organizers no regional woman organizer no ni nimu no so on say the ensure no sa na area ebe
oh okay Matima me medasi original woman organizer kuzi yes wa kototo ne shop ne office ma change keys ne locks anyway well ebia omonso so ba om de bidi wo mo e ba ne say ya no bia ma nasama ye de time amonso so mo ba ye no de na mo de ye NDC women organizers no but I think the president says reset. Reset means you put things in its perspective and you don't go back to the status quo. Hello? Omampani can reset no. The botany say, and near may be a touch you, near may be a chair money at the uncle you owe ye. I don't expect to be hearing the old order. Everything should make way to new. Upon from near. It was a tata chem. Quabre for more MP fear. Mighty minority.
Mighty minority.
Say the amount of tomorrow.
You're good. You must say, wow, you didn't when I'm saying.
It's 8.
You are giving them around.
It's 8 is what I need to fall.